You're a pretty dog. Yes, you are. Welcome to Cooking with Glenn and Katie. Today we'll be making a Yule log. It's a perfect dessert for Christmas. Delicious. You'll love it. The first thing I do is make the cake. And so this is what I've got to do. I've got a pan here, and this is a 10 by 15 inch pan, just a cookie sheet, but it needs to have a edge to it so that the cake can rise, and I've buttered it. I mean, buttered it. The crazy thing about this recipe is that I butter it, and then I put a piece of parchment paper in here that I've folded and made the perfect size. And guess what? I'm gonna butter it again. I've got to butter the top of it because it will stick if I don't. Now I'm gonna put together the dry ingredients. Let me do that now. I have a half a cup of all-purpose flour. I have a fourth a cup of cocoa. This is plain cocoa. And I have a half a teaspoon of baking powder. And I have a quarter teaspoon of salt. So I'm gonna get a spoon, I'm gonna mix all these together. Now you need to have 4 room temperature eggs, and look at these. These came from my chicken house. So I'm gonna put these 4 eggs, and I crack them one at a time and put them in the bowl. I'll beat the egg. Now it's time to put the sugar in and beat them together. I've beaten them until they're thickened a little bit, and now I am going to put the dry ingredients in. I got a sifter here. You want to fold it in. So this is a very low speed. I'm just going to fold the ingredients together. The ingredients are together into the batter, and I'm going to pour the batter in the pan now. Now I'm going to use a spoon to spread it to the edges, and you want to make sure they're all on the edges and they're touching. So watch this. So I'm just going to move it so it's touching the edges. You've got to make sure that the batter goes all the way to the edges here. So go all the way around the pan to make sure that's happening here. And now before I put it in the oven, I will be knocking it down just a little bit. So I'll just take it and I'll just kind of hit it like this. One. Just a few times to spread the batter out evenly. It's even now, so I'm going to put it in the oven. You cook it at 375 for 12 to 15 minutes. We're going to set it for 12 minutes and check it, make sure it's okay. We may let it cook a little bit longer.
Now it's time to make the filling, which is so easy because it's only 3 ingredients. The first ingredient is 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. The second ingredient is 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And then the third ingredient is 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and add that 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. And I'm going to go ahead and measure out the 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract as well. I'm going to go ahead and blend them together with my beaters. I'm going to actually put them on the highest setting. It's thickening now, and in a minute I'll stop the beaters and add the powdered sugar. Look at that. Just like snow. Now I'm going to blend this together until there are stiff peaks. Okay guys, we're there. It looks nice and full, almost a Play-Doh looking texture.
Okay, we'll check the cake and it looks like it's pretty good. If I touch it, it springs back. I think it's about right. So I think we'll be able to take it out and we'll be ready. So I'm gonna sit it here and I can kind of see it most of the way around. It's pulled away. Now I'm going to put a towel over this. It's been about a minute or so. And then I'm going to take this pan, put it on top, and now I'm just going to flip it over like this. And it should come out. Let me make sure it comes out okay. There it is. Okay, now I'm going to pull the parchment paper off, and you see it still sticks a little bit, but it's not too terribly bad. Okay, and then I'm going to let it cool off for about a minute. Now I'm going to roll this up. I'm just bend this over, and I'm just going to roll it so that it will have its form ready. Because if I wait till later and roll it up, it may crack a little bit more than it will if I do it this way. So I've got it on here. Now I'm going to let it sit till it cools.
Okay, now it's time to put the filling inside the cake. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by unrolling it gently. I'm just going to use my hands just to make sure that everything comes apart, but it's separating very, very easily. There we go. So now that I have unrolled the cake, I'm going to go ahead and put the filling down on top of it so I can go ahead and spread it all out. So I'm just going to start using my spoon to start spreading it out, and in just a couple minutes I'm going to show you the finished product. Now that I have put the filling on the cake and spread everything around, you can actually look down here and see what I've done. I am going to roll it up, but first I wanted to let you know I tried to keep the icing about a ½ an inch from the border of the cake. That way it's just not spewing out, but as you can see it's well iced. So now I'm going to go and start rolling up the cake. Look at that.
Now to make the icing. When I made the cake, I used Hershey's chocolate cocoa, and that's the regular kind. But for the icing, I like for it to be very dark. And so I picked up a container of the special dark. So I'm going to use it. I like to have a little contrast in the Yule log. Now I'm going to sift 2 cups of powdered sugar. I'm doing this to get the clumps out, so we won't have clumps in the icing. It'll be smooth. I'm sifting the chocolate with the sugar. I have the cocoa and the sugar sifted together, and now I'm going to add some more ingredients. This is a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to use a 1/4 cup of milk, and it can be any kind of milk. 1/4 cup of milk. And a 1/3 cup of soft butter. Softened butter. I'll beat the ingredients together. Okay, the icing's ready. It's time to ice the Yule log. Let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip it over because I'm going to ice down here, but I don't want to get anything on the pan. So I'm just going to turn it over to this side right here, and I'm going to ice the sides here before I flip it over. So I'm just going to go through here and ice both sides. I've iced the 2 sides, and now I'm going to flip it over. And now it's time to ice the top. It'll just make it easier that I don't have to get down to the pan. I've iced it, and I cut off the end so you can see what it looks like inside. I used a spoon to show the bark on the outside, and I iced the other end so it's ready. It really looks like a log, and it's beautiful. So this is going to be a Yule log. Of course, at Christmas I'll put maybe some holly leaves and berries. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to put it on a platter and make it look nice. Can't wait to taste it. It is a beautiful, beautiful cake. Now to see if it will taste as good as it looks. Look at that. So pretty. Got the lighter chocolate inside and the darker chocolate on the outside, so you've got some contrast, and the beautiful white in the center. Take me a piece. I love the filling. The vanilla with the chocolate. This is excellent. If you make it and you serve it at a party, it's going to be a hit.
It's my turn to try it. This is an absolutely beautiful, I'm going to call it a cake. It's a beautiful looking cake. I cannot wait to try this Yule log. Okay, now that I've got my bite, it looks beautiful. You can see the icing on the bottom, the filling in the top. Let's try this. This is delicious. The cake is moist, and the icing is rich, but the filling is light and airy. It's a perfect blend of all three. There's different textures happening. This is a winner. It, as I said, does have the rich icing, but with the light, airy filling, and then the regular cocoa powder cake rather than the special dark chocolate in the cake. It's just a perfect blend from light to dark with the flavors. I cannot wait to eat this whole thing. It's definitely something that you need to make for your next, either just for yourself or for your next get together. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We're gonna finish eating, but if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you're updated on all of our new episodes, and we will see you guys next week.